join us at the first of the two German races of the season. This one, the European Grand Prix at the Nurburgring. Here's the track layout. It's 67 laps, not 71, as the track is around 4.5 kilometres, allowing for 67 laps. Last season saw Vettel spinning on his way to victory, as the rain came down that race as well. So in Q1, it's the normal four that have not made it into Q2, but it was a very, very close affair. Dodgem, in fact, set the same time David Coulthard as Giancarlo Fisichella for GRM. 1,000th of a second would have seen Dodgem not into the race. And SF1 did a heroic effort. One place higher, 1/10 behind, ahead of PK in the Andy Racing, would have seen them through into their home race.
Round 1 of the Fantasy Formula Renault 3.5 series comes from the Hockenheim circuit in Germany, and it's Nico Hülkenberg for RGP on the front row of the grid. And the lights are out and it's go. Hülkenberg gets a good start, as does his teammate Joel Bianchi, with Mexican Sergio Perez in third place, ahead of the Formula Renault 2.0 champion Jaime Alguersuari in fourth place. And they all make it cleanly through turn 1, a little bit of tyre smoke, but nothing broken or bent. And Hülkenberg started to stretch his legs while Perez is looking at Bianchi. Can he get through into the hairpin? He thinks better of it this time around. Meanwhile, Sam Bird passes Alguersuari into the hairpin, and that's Viatoris passing Max Chilton into the hairpin as well. And again, a little bit of bumping and boring, as you can expect on the first lap at the hairpin. But everybody's through without any damage and lives to fight another day. Hülkenberg pulling away now from his teammate, who is in turn pulling away from the Mexican Sergio Perez, who is one of the favourites for the championship after impressing in pre-season testing. Fastest lap for Hülkenberg, and that's Alguersuari having a look at Sam Bird. Sam Bird cuts him off, and that's left Alguersuari open to attack, and indeed Viatoris passes him, and his teammate Robert Wickens is also through, up into fifth and sixth place respectively. Alguersuari having to go back now into turn 1, and this time he makes it stick, pushing Wickens out onto the curb and creating a traffic jam behind him. And Max Chilton having to fend off the advances of Boilo Garcia in 9th place, but it's Nico Hülkenberg who exits the final corner and takes the win for the first round of the season, with his teammate Joel Bianchi in second, Sergio Perez third, Sam Bird fourth, Christian Viatoris in 5th place. And now let's go back to the FF1M action with James Brickles.
So let's recap the starting grid. We know Senna takes his second pole in a row, and only his second pole of his career. Vettel half a tenth down on the front row. Vettel's teammate Raikkonen third, Jenson Button the fastest runner on hard tyres. Pantano and Alonso row 3. Hamilton, great effort from him in the ailing shake and bake to get up to 7th. Bourdais 8th, and both Mitchells completing the top 10. Disappointing performances from Rosberg, down in 18th place. Maldonado once again outshined by his teammate, he's down in 16th. Dodgems fill up the back row. Now, the start, 5 lights on, 5 lights out, and Vettel looks like he's on absolute flyer. Senna's had a poor start. Raikkonen is going to try and get second place. No, he's dropped back. He's down to 5th already, but Vettel leads into the first corner. We often see drama here, and that was a tornado trying to steam up the inside, but Senna's holding on. He could still be in the lead. Vettel and Senna side by side, but it's Vettel now in the lead. Senna's got the tornadoes right behind him. Button and Pantano have taken advantage of Raikkonen's poor start And Alonso up to 5th as well. Right on board with Jenson Button as he swarms the back of the Shannon. And it's Vettel that powers through into the lead. This is exactly what the current world champion wants. To be in the lead. And to have a little bit of a gap over Bruno Senna. Jenson Button looks like he's going to shape up a move. The inside into chicane. No, he's had to lift out there. Bit cautious on this first lap. Got some action further back. Who is that? It's got spinning Pantano. Pantano spins and Button went off the track as well. Alonso takes 3rd. And up the inside of Raikkonen is an X-Elite. It's Bourdais. So that lap not good for Tornado, turns out. And look at the X-Elite powering up nearly alongside Raikkonen. And got some running wide in the back as well. Up the inside of Pantano, gets Hamilton! Pantano dropping back, Hamilton side by side. And behind him is... That's Agui Racing. And it looks like Hamilton is ahead, but Pantano not giving up that position. And they stayed together now. Pantano still ahead of Hamilton. And Pantano defending into that corner, which has cost him a bit of momentum. I don't think Hamilton's close enough in the slipstream though. Look behind, that was a Dark Wolf side by side for someone. Here's to start with Nico Rosberg. And what happens here? There's a bit of bumping. And Rosberg's spinning. That's with an Andy Racing. There must have been Piquet. I think we do have 71 laps underneath. I think historically it has been 67, but here we have 71 laps. Clean side by side with Hamilton into turn 1. And Hamilton locking up and going off the track. Needs to be careful where he rejoins. Jenson Button challenging Fernando Alonso for 3rd. So both Tornadoes back on the move as Pantano takes Bourdais for 6th. Or does he? Look at that, Bourdais trying to get back up the inside into the Coca-Cola curve. And he's trying to get alongside already. Alonso defending, and Rosberg is out again. He's crashed it this time. And here we can see how he did it. He was challenging Yanni and Mitchell. Right, Mitchell goes up the inside of Yanni, runs wide. And, oh! Bit of a misjudgment there from Rosberg, I think. Vettel in the lead is being challenged by Senna. The Shannon now has the quicker car. Can he get up the inside into this left-hander? Yes, he can. Up the inside, he's understeered off the track. Senna's off! Off goes Senna! Needs to rejoin quickly. But he looks like he's stuck. And I saw him moving there. I think he's back in the race. Yellow flags. So drivers have got to be careful. And, oh dearie me, look at that! Coulthard hits Senna! That's shocking! Jenson Button up the inside of an FJR as well, and lucky that Senna didn't cross back onto his path. So Button moves up into 2nd place now, but Fernando Alonso back up the inside into the chicane. And the two make contact! Button and Alonso spin, it's a Pedersen 1-2. So this is shaking up the order massively here. Webber into the chicane, he's smashed into the back of Button, or the side of Button rather. Jenson Button's out of the race. And Pantano now has been... Look at that, the wall contact! I don't know where to look. Pantano's been smashed by Klein, I think that was. Was that Klein? And Raikkonen's out! Kimi Raikkonen out of second place with clearly a blown engine. That's going to move Bourdais up into second. Oh, this is a fantastic race so far. Lots of incident. Raikkonen carrying on at the moment, and Klein challenging Bourdais then. And Hamilton challenging Davidson for 8th place. And Timo Glock's up to 7th from last on the grid. This is only lap 6. So it's been a heck of a race from Timo Glock in front of his home crowd, and Hamilton up the inside of Davidson. He's got him up to 8th. And Klein's just moved up into 2nd place. He's got ahead of Bourdais. Davidson challenging Hamilton back though. The X-Elite is a bit more powerful than the Shake and Bake. The inside, he's gone off the track. And he spins! Davidson, oh, he nearly spun. He couldn't control that and he's dropped at least 2 more positions. Genet up the inside of Hamilton into the last corner. And off goes Vettel! Is that Vettel? No, that's Raikkonen, sorry. Raikkonen went a whole lap with a blown engine. So Vettel leads in front of his home crowd by 8.3 seconds, and oh, Sutil and Kubica. Scrappy overtake, but Sutil is up into 4th. But Kubica is right behind the Andy Racing. Up the inside into turn 1. Kubica moves back up into 4th place. So as predicted, both Guy Racings have moved up the order. And off goes an Andy Racing. He was trying to challenge a Shannon, and that's an FJR in there. That must be Alonso. And he's lost a wheel. Alonso's out. Both FJRs out of the race due to collisions. And Sutil locking up into the left-hander. I think that's the bit curve. Must have rejoined. This is Klein and Bourdais. No, Kubica and Bourdais for 3rd place. So both Guy Racing's in the top 3 now. But the power of the X-Elite. Right back up here. And whoa, Bourdais spins! So lucky was Kubica not to lose his front wing. Now we have Hamilton challenging Timo Glock for 4th place. This has been a marvellous drive from Glock, but to get up to 4th, Hamilton up the inside now. Into 4th place goes the Shake and Bake. Another driver that's made his way up the field is Marc Genet, from 17th on the grid to go up to 6th. Klein closing in on Vettel for the lead. As we look at Kubica, has he got a problem? He has got a problem, he's pulled off. Robert Kubica out of 3rd place. We often talk about Guy Racing's legendary reliability, and it's a puncture, so not the fault of the car, but the fault of the tyres. Anthony Davidson challenging Genet for 5th place. At the inside into turn 1, he's done it. Davidson up to 5th. So despite his half spin, Davidson is still flying. As we look at Sutil and Maldonado for 8th place. Is that Sutil or is it PK? It's hard to tell from the helmets. I think it was Sutil indeed. And the lapping traffic now, and Vettel and Klein are right together, separated by 1 second, but we're going to see a battle for the lead as Vettel's soft tyres begin to fade. Buemi moves up to 9th place at the expense of Maldonado, and Webber looks like he's going to move up a position as well. Maldonado defends into the turn 3. He's in the slipstream, but he doesn't look close enough into the Dunlop hairpin. But Maldonado having to defend a little bit. He's in the slipstream now. He looks like he's close enough to make a move into the left-hander at turn 8. He's up the inside now. Maldonado hanging on. And yeah, he held on there. But Webber's still behind him. He looks like he may try into the chicane near the end of the lap. Up the inside again. Maldonado defending a little bit. Webber up the inside. He's gone off a little bit, but he's through. No, he's not. Right round the outside goes Maldonado. That's pretty impressive driving from the Venezuelan driver, and I think he's pulled away a little bit. I don't think Webber's close enough to make a move there, but later on the lap, oh, slight lock-up from Webber. He's pushing hard. His teammate is in 6th place, so Webber knows he has the car, but can he get past the driver in front of him? Maldonado defending again, and got his line completely wrong. Webber's got his opportunity now. Meanwhile, Vettel is beginning to pull away again from Christian Klein. The gap's grown to 1.4. Hamilton in 3rd place, ahead of Glock, Davidson, Genet, Piquet and Sutil. This battle for 10th. And a bit of understeer from Webber, and he's lost momentum as a result. But this is probably the cleanest scrap on the track in the race so far. No contact. 2 drivers pushing extremely hard to try and stay in 10th place. Closing up on the pair of them is a Mitchell and Maldonado running wide again. Webber's got another opportunity into the left-handed bit curve. Turn 8 as it is known. Through up the inside, he's done it. He's done it this time. But no, he's not. Maldonado's still hanging on. He's not going to give up 10th place easily, because with the way this race has gone, it could well be 8th place. And Webber defending a little bit, because he has made his way up. And Maldonado pushes the back of Webber. But Webber holds on, and Maldonado's pitting. I don't think that would be front wing damage. I didn't see any debris come off, but it's certainly very interesting driving from Pastor. Now we look at Timo Glock challenging Davidson for 4th place. I wonder if Davidson's... well, he's got ahead of Glock somehow. But Glock going to retake the position to bit curve, turn 8. He's done it. Glock back up to 4th place. He's gained 18 positions since the race started. So it's been a hugely impressive drive. In fact, Glock has made a pit stop and Davidson hasn't. So that would explain how Davidson got ahead, because he's yet to pit. Hamilton's also pitted, and this is Hamilton challenging Davidson for 4th place. Meanwhile, Vettel and Klein still lead. Both have not made a pit stop yet. And Hamilton's up to 4th place. Got through on the inside into turn 3. And made the position stick as a result. Klein closing in. And this is his pit stop actually. He's in the pits. Klein pits. So is he going to try and get the undercut using new tyres on Sebastian Vettel? This is lap 42. Klein has a shot of victory, but Vettel in the more favourable position, I would say, because he's on the lighter fuel load and his stop won't last. And 4.5 seconds. That looks like he's going to stop again. So is this Klein's method of trying to get ahead of Vettel? A very short stint, push as hard as you can, and hopefully stay ahead once you've made your final pit stop. Rejoined 2nd ahead of Glock. Vettel and Klein pulled massively away, and Glock and Hamilton. These soft tyres are working pretty well today. And Hamilton into turn 3. That's a tight gap, but Hamilton looks to have done it. Although Glock is still side by side with the shake and bake, but no, Hamilton's done it. That was a bold overtake, and up to a podium position goes Lewis Hamilton. Shake and bake need this after the start of the season they've had. Vettel in the lead. Now this is going to be interesting to see what Pedersen do here. Will he fill up the car and go at the end of the race? Because I don't think 4.5 seconds indicated a one stop for Christian Klein. World champions, of course. So into the box. 4.5 again. So Vettel reacting to the Klein pit stop. Klein fastest lap, and that is Klein, isn't it? That's taken the lead. Yes, it was. Christian Klein leads. And look at that gap he's pulled out. New tyres work out brilliantly. And off goes Maldonado. Transmission failure on the Shannon, so after the promise of Senna's pole position, both Shannons are now out of the race. Anthony Davidson and Andy Racing. It must be Adrian Sutil. Or is it PK? Because Davidson was down in 8th place. It was definitely an Andy Racing, I know that much. It was PK. And here we have Sutil on Buemi for 5th place. Inside into turn 1. Tiny bit of understeer, but Sutil makes it. Buemi though looking good for points. Giner trying to get into points now. Up against PK. He's done it. Giner up into 8th place. Anthony Davidson at the inside and Buemi into turn 1. That's 6th place for Anthony Davidson. He is flying. Can he catch Adrian Sutil now for 5th place? No need to, because he's got ahead. Look at this. Giner and Sutil 6th place, and we've got Klein in the lead by 14 seconds from Vettel. So Vettel must have made another pit stop that we haven't seen, and that's an Andy Racing. Is that PK or is it Sutil? He's waiting for confirmation. It's PK. So that 4.5 second stop of Klein, turns out it's won him the race. Well, he rejoined ahead of the lead, and clearly the harder tyres worked out much better than the softer tyres of Vettel. So yeah, there probably were one stopping, but 4.5 seconds was a bit of a shock for me. But rounding the final corner goes Christian Klein to win his first race of the season. Super race from Klein, especially from 14th on the grid. High attrition rate, we had a lot of retirements. Vettel 2nd, Hamilton 3rd, Glock superb 4th, Davidson 5th, Giner 6th, Sutil 7th, and Buemi completing the top 8. Points for Mitchell. Both Pedersens, both FJRs, both Tornadoes, and many other retirements. Both Shannons as well. So Klein now has a massive 14-point lead over Alonso. Jenson Button 3rd, Senna 4th, Pansoner 5th, Kubica 6th, and Vettel with his 2nd place moves up to 7th. E-Racing now lead the Constructors' Championship, overtaking Tornado. FJR slipped back a bit, 3rd place. Next race is Monaco. We'll see you there.